We are
heck?
looking adorable. Sorry, I can't quit talking about our
Ourselves.
appearance. Yeah,
Well,
about ourselves.
it is our podcast, so we
It is
can.
our podcast. We might as well just,
Yeah, yeah,
lean
yeah.
into what it is. It is what it is.
So how have you been doing then if we are going to make it about ourselves? What's up with
Uh,
you?
does something seem different about me right now?
I mean, you're in a different location.
I'm in a different location. I am reporting live from the cow chair. So anyone that follows us on Instagram, they've seen the cow chair before.
She's looking
Um,
good. It's her time to
thank
shine.
Oh, the cow chair?
Yeah.
I know.
You too, you
Funny
too.
story about this cow chair. I bought this chair on like one of those Wayfair sales like 3 years ago, probably, because my vision was buy a bunch of furniture for not your current house, but the future house that you want. So I did that. And this chair was
Part of that
gray. I bought
vision.
this gray chair. And then, like 6 months after I bought it, I'm like, I'm finally going to go look at the gray chair. I opened up the gray chair.
It's
It
cow.
was not gray. It's loud and proud. And so now it's just been kind of this ongoing joke, but I
I
like the way
really
that
like
sounds.
it. It fits your
Yeah.
small town vibe.
Yeah.
It adds some
Yeah.
nice texture with your little flower E back there, and
Yeah.
you've got it all going on.
I know. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's Friday. I do love me
It
a
is
Friday.
Friday.
We kind of did we talk about this last time where we're like, what's our favorite?
Yeah.
Like if we were to rather have, yeah, a Friday off or a Monday off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
I do love me a Friday though. It's just a lot chill, especially after a short week due to the holiday festivities.
I know. We are fresh off the 4th of July. It has taken me 2 days to kind of restabilize. I was not sure what day it was because we did all of our Monday morning meetings and stuff on Monday or on Wednesday. And so that really had me messed up. I'll be honest. I was
Right.
not right.
It was the
I was not right.
kookiest week. Like Wednesday felt like a Monday. Yesterday felt like a Friday. So today I'm just like aloof, I feel like. I'm like,
I
I don't
know.
even know where I'm at.
I know. I know. And think about this time last year, what was going on. I was
Oh, true.
100 weeks pregnant last year. The camera angles did nothing for me. I'm just gonna say, but that, it wasn't the camera angle's fault. I was just retaining a lot of water.
Yeah,
Let's say that.
you were iron
Fast,
deficient.
I was. Fast forward a year. We're having Rose's first birthday party this weekend.
This weekend, I didn't realize it was coming up so soon.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
You're all
Tomorrow.
planned and prepped and ready. Tall,
As, as much as possible.
yeah. I saw you working on your little designs with her Dolly Parton theme.
Yeah, I sent those off to be printed. So this afternoon I have an appointment. I'm going to swing by and pick them up. And
Do you have an outfit for her?
yes, I do. Actually, like she could sit in oh, well, yeah, I mean, I have to get her picture in this chair. I'm such a,
Oh,
thank you for saying that.
full circle.
Yeah.
Full
Oh my
circle.
gosh, so funny. I'll have to put this up in front of her photo backdrop, which I'm doing. You're going to be very impressed by my
Oh my
party
God.
planning skills. You are.
I'm
I always
excited to
go
see
all
it.
out for the first birthday, and then I kind of,
Yeah, it just continues to dwindle.
yeah,
No, I get
yeah.
that. I get that. Um,
It has, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna segue,
I
but
was too.
let's hear yours. I bet yours is
Okay.
probably a lot better than mine.
No, I was just so you said it's been a kooky week. It has been a kooky week because like both professionally, personally, and then online. Shelby, we have a new social app making the rounds out there
I
right
know,
now.
like the week we decide to take a social media break, Instagram decides to come out with threads, and I feel
Uh-huh.
behind now. But it's okay
No,
if I, it's
don't
okay.
worry. I'm out there, boots on the ground, doing the work.
Yeah.
I'm out there exploring. I feel like Lewis and Clark of our generation, but I don't know if I'd be Lewis or Clark. um,
I don't know either.
whichever one was felt older because I feel old. Like I feel old, but I feel young. It's so okay. It's so interesting. Can I just say it's
Yes.
so
Tell
interesting?
us what people are talking about. Because I've kind of heard some things. I would love your perspective as you are a lover of Twitter. So you
I am
have
a lover of Twitter.
both perspectives. So lay it on me.
Yeah. Okay. So Threads is the meta version essentially of Twitter. So it's just all text-based, short little messages. It's exactly like Twitter.
Right.
It's exactly like
I hear
Twitter.
even like the platform itself looks, but I mean, that is what Meta always does, right? Like with TikTok, they got Reels and
Yes.
now Reels look exactly like TikTok. I mean, that's just how they
Yeah.
do things.
Yes. And so they're so similar, in fact, that he's pissed. He's threatening to sue
Yeah.
Zuckerberg.
Did you hear they might like something came up that they were like going to do a fight or something?
Yes, but Elon's mom stepped in and she said, no, I simply cannot have my boy fighting, acting like an animal, behaving like a caveman.
Yeah, not when
And
he
so
has
the
to
fight is
repopulate
off.
the earth with all of his
Right,
children.
exactly. So I guess they'll take that cage match to court potentially. But it is so interesting. Like I would love to get Luke from MVS in here to talk about
Yeah, I saw he had,
Meta.
oh, the Meta
Yeah,
Amazon, not Amazon, Twitter kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, I was gonna say that too because he was one of the first ones. Not one of the first ones, but I saw he hopped on Threads right away
he
because
did.
Luke is our savvy tech guy over
He
there.
is, and he is our like Twitter king. You know, he's just out there fighting the good fight, spreading the good word about IP out on Twitter, and now he's bringing it over to the metaverse. And I'm really interested. But yeah, I mean, I'd say it's clean, it's nice. It's so funny. The people that are on there, they're like, "What do I do? How do I do this?" I'm like, "Oh, well, you clearly have never like tweeted a day in your life." So I'm spotting weaknesses there.
Can you
Uh,
upload images and stuff to it?
you can, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. But it's not, video driven. Like
right.
you're not scrolling from video to video. So it's definitely it's so interesting to watch those TikTokers or those people who have built their identity on reels or video form to kind of like find their way through this because it's so different. And I'm like,
It's so different because
yeah,
I
and
was
it's
even
just so
thinking of
interesting.
it, Instagram, like a post and whatnot. It can come off very curated. Like I
Absolutely.
write a long post and caption of what I want, but like Threads, as Twitter is, I'm sure it's just going to evolve into what Twitter is, obviously. But it's very like spur of the moment, quick. So it's going to be interesting to see how like people translate their Instagram success to Threads because isn't it all your Instagram followers like do they get transferred to Threads?
You have the choice to do that, to
Okay.
say, yeah, you have the choice to say, I want to start like use what I have here or start clean. And so, as we do talk about AI and how that kind of works with this, if you said, no, I don't want to use my Instagram account, then the algorithm is clean. You are starting basically at zero. Like it doesn't know what you're interested in. It doesn't know what you want to see. It doesn't know any of that about you, which is freaking fascinating
Yeah.
to just see how that could go from like 0 to 100 or see how fast it can kind of learn you, the user. But I just,
Right. I
I
mean,
pulled over
yeah.
a lot of my information from
Smart.
Instagram. So
Because it's still in beta. And I think they even rolled it out a day earlier than they were planning to. Because I was hearing some people like, who are these people on my feed? Like, I don't even follow them. Like, why are they on my feed? So it goes back to the AI thing, I guess. Like, it's still trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
learn.
because it's like it's giving you this wide, a variety of options, and then I suppose it's just going to kind of weed out as you start to
Yeah.
follow people and engage more. But yeah, it's really interesting. I would say it's like I haven't seen any politics on there yet, so I think it's
Time will.
just yeah, it just feels like what did I call it yesterday? I said it's Threads feels like Twitter in church clothes. It just feels like a little more,
Yeah, or it's like your summer fling. Like things are just so
yeah,
casual and fun, and we're just testing the waters. Once it
yeah,
comes to
yeah.
Christmas time and holiday season, we'll see if it's really.
I know it's cuffing. Yeah, yeah, it'll be cuffing season. I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe the opposite. So for longevity, yeah, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, because I was thinking of other apps and features that have popped up within, because like ever since TikTok, people have wanted to be like the first on the app because they've seen like what that
mhm.
success can do for people and brands. So like I was thinking of some other like apps that have come and went, like Clubhouse, like that was hot and heavy for a
I don't
summer.
even know what Clubhouse it was. What was
Clubhouse was
Clubhouse?
like more of an audio thing, I believe. So you could say, hey, I'm going to be on Clubhouse at 10 a.m. Wednesday to talk about ChatGPT, and then
Oh,
like
I did
people
not
could
know. I
join your
missed that one.
clubhouse. Yeah, it was like a glimmer in time, or what's that phrase?
Mhm.
A
A
light,
blip in time,
a flash in the light. Is that
uh,
right?
lightning in a bottle.
I don't know. They all sound good to me. um, and then another Instagram update that kind of went away too was, do you remember like those status updates? So when you
They're
swipe,
still there.
I know, but like people don't use them. So that's what I'm saying with
No.
threads. Like, is this going to be something that people continue to use as time goes on, or is it going to be like the status
I'm
update?
I'm really curious about that too because I feel like the Twitter, the Twitter people, they're probably not going to leave. The people who are trying it right now are like the brands, the influence. I just don't know if it's sustainable. I think they'll want to go back to where they can monetize.
Yeah.
It's always, it all roads are going to lead to where the dollar is. So I think all those TikTokers and Instagram people, they're all going to go back to where they can monetize. Maybe you will be able to monetize this, but I think this is harder because I think this uses like you have to be quick and you have to be clever and you have, it's like real time. I don't know, like we would always live tweet
Oh,
like the political debates because it's just and it's so fun to watch and see what other people are like their takes on that. So I don't know, you're right. Like Instagram is curated. It takes a long time to set up your ring light, which trust me, that's a harder thing than it
that it
sounds
looks.
like to do.
We don't give
Like
influencers enough credit sometimes, you know?
well, no, we do and we don't because those videos, I think they're like scripted. They take a long time, whereas this threads, it requires like a quick,
Yeah.
quippy, clever, you know, take. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe our influencers they have beautiful homes. They know how to set up a ring light, but maybe they're not, I don't know. And I guess we'll see. I
Yeah.
guess we'll see.
Yeah, I see it as being like a great brand builder because help to like humanize like we'll be able to show off. After this, I am going to set up our threads. Like I have that on my to-do list for today is like set up the threads.
Amazing. Yes.
So
A
go
brand that
follow
came
some.
in hot a brand that came in hot and has done really well was Dunkin' Donuts. So I encourage you to go look at Dunkin' Donuts. They did a really good job. And I know it was just their social media guy or gal. They just, they got on that night and they were just, I mean, they did a great job. They deserve a raise. So really interesting to see how brands are behaving out there because
Yeah.
it's like it's Twitter, but it's not. I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know how to like I don't feel like I'm being my same
Twitter
quippy self.
self.
I think yeah, I'm like overthinking this stupid app. I'm
Yeah, I'm
overthinking it.
even thinking of it as like stories. Like, stories are like those 24-hour things and they like go away.
Yeah.
So people don't really think about them. I'm kind of thinking of it as that too, just transferring over to text. But there's like a lot of
Yes.
pressure for your first thread, I feel like, because everyone's on it right now and you have to be like clever and witty and like
You do.
we'll have
You
to we'll
do.
have to brainstorm what we want our first thread to be.
Yeah, I know. I know. Sorry, I got a text from Brandon. He said, "Nice mic, bro." It is nice. It is nice.
How can you see your mic?
I don't know. Creepy.
Is he in on our Zoom call?
Prob Probably. X him out. Kick him out.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
amazing. So yeah, that's my take on threads. I'm sorry. That was long-winded, but
No,
what
it
a
was
time to be alive. What a time to
hot
be a
goss.
marketer.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love new and evolving things, don't you?
You know what? I do. I do. It's funny you say that.
Yeah, it was. I did want to bring up this stat really quick because I heard this in an ad in a podcast I was listening to the other day, and I'm like, shut up, because we all know the lovely Taylor Swift. Not
We
only
do.
did she drop a new album not a new album,
I know.
a
So I
TV.
wonder if this stat has already outdated itself because of what happened last night.
Maybe, honestly, maybe. But side note, did you know that like when they say speak now TV, they're not talking about like a Taylor television station. They're talking about Taylor's version
Oh, I had never heard
of
that.
the TV.
I've never heard that phrase.
Oh my God. There were people on my Instagram stories yesterday being like, so excited for Speak Now TV dropping tonight. And I'm like, oh, is she launching a television program? Like I thought, and then,
She is like Oprah, so yeah, I could see
and
that.
then Elise Myers on
Yes.
TikTok,
Ugh,
she did a TikTok about it and was like, "Did anyone else think it was a TV? But it actually means Taylor's version." And I'm like,
my
me.
God. I know. I didn't know that, but I hadn't heard that. But if I heard it, I would not have, no, it would have gone right over my head. I'm like, wow, she's really
100%.
doing it all. She's doing the most, as the kids say.
But not the most in search volume because ChatGPT is beating Taylor Swift in search volume. And you added Swifties are gasping.
Swifties across the world are, they are going to write, I mean, they will make sure that they will not stand for this. They will not stand for this. They will be
No,
on their computers searching and getting Taylor's numbers up because those Swifties they're crazy.
they are borderline insane. Like it's crazy to think about. But
They're absolutely nuts.
ChatGPT isn't, which is why we have made this huge series about it. I say
Ugh.
huge, like I mean, it is huge. It's breaking the internet. Um,
It is breaking the internet. Thanks to all of you listeners.
not to be just humbling ourselves.
Yeah,
Um,
modest.
to recap what we've gone over the past couple episodes, part one is what we laid the foundation, right? We explained what AI is, how ChatGPT works fundamentally. We also gave it kind of an analogy that we developed while we were talking about it, the chopped
That
analogy.
was an on the spot analogy that I'm really proud of.
Will you guide
Um,
us through it one more time?
oh my gosh. I want you to guide us through it.
Okay, I can guide us through it. So, we broke down GPT and what that means. So, we were talking about pre training. In the GPT model is when you are a chef and you have all these skills and you've gone through all this education and you know all these different cuisines and recipes. But then the transformer part is when you're on Chopped and you're told you have to put a hot dog into a dessert and you have to
Yep.
make it work with what you have. And that's essentially what it translates to in the
Yes.
GPT. What do they call it? Architecture is what they call it.
Yes. But yeah, it's like, yes, the world is your kitchen. You have all these things. You just have to make this beautiful thing with what you've got.
Right, right, right.
You've got a lot in there. I mean, your kitchen is, there's stainless steel, everything in there, you
There's
know?
utensils. I don't even know
Oh my
what they do.
God. Like a dingle hopper. I'm over here combing my hair. They're like, no, honey,
Was that a
that
Little
is for,
Mermaid reference?
yes, it
Oh my
was.
God, I want to see that movie so bad.
I do too. I do too.
We also briefly touched on prompts
Yes.
and how to use them to get the desired content that you want in an effective way because people are getting, I mean, you can either approach it very vaguely and you'll get something broad and you're like, that has nothing to do with me. But people are getting really smart and particular and detailed with their prompts that is giving them the outcome that they are looking for, which is in the end saving them time and money.
So much time, so much money. Yeah, we talked about people monetizing these, people like selling them like you would a preset in your Lightroom or your Photoshop. They're just getting
Hmm.
so good at asking for what they want. You can tell those people have gone to therapy. You know, those people have gone to therapy. They know what to ask for.
Those were the
They know.
people in school that were kind of like the brainiacs and they followed the syllabus and to a T. And then
Absolutely. Those people have no, like, their tummies don't hurt when they go and ask their boss for a raise. They're just like, look, this is what
what
I
I
need.
want.
This is what I deserve. This is what I want. Um, those people aren't me. Not yet.
I love that. I love that. And then in part two is when we started to look into the different types of AI tools that you can use for your business. We went over a huge list of them. And then we dove into 5 ways that you can start using AI today. Like we literally walked you through how to set up a chatbot on your website, social platform, all that jazz. And then we also gave you a prompt that we found online. Like we said, people are throwing these out like hotcakes. And it helps to generate a month's worth of social media content all over there in part two. So if you haven't listened to those, I don't know what you're
Go
doing.
check it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing either. I mean, honestly, get off of Threads, get the earbuds out of your ears, stop listening to Taylor, get over there and educate yourself. Educate
Educate
yourself.
yourself.
You'll thank yourself later, and you'll thank us, and
And
we will accept that. Thank you.
you can thank us by leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts. That would be
Yes, five
splendid.
stars, baby. Nothing less. Nothing less. Oh, can I say I promoted the podcast on Threads last night?
Shut up. On your
I
thread?
did. Yes. I said, do you like marketing? Do you like gossip? Are you curious about how to use ChatGPT or AI? Okay, fine. You can listen to our
Okay,
podcast. And
fine.
then I linked it.
I love
Fine.
that. Because you can
Yeah.
reply in threads, right? Like you can.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So, up until this point, we have talked a lot about the copy side of things, the ideation, the strategy parts of AI. But today we want to focus on the visual, the money makers, what's going to grab that person's attention, because AI is able to work in visual aspects as well.
Yes. And I think I think that is where, so I keep referencing this, our very first episode of this podcast.
Yeah.
AI, AI, AI. That's when people were like, we saw a lot of the visual stuff, but we did not know what that
Yeah,
was
yeah. Like
yet.
they were taking the image you took and like kind of making it into a cartoon is what we're referencing, right? Like
Yep, yep.
through like a TikTok filter or something.
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
You see it on TikTok
Yes.
all the time. I am constantly like, ooh, let me try this filter and see how I look as Barbie. And it's like, not
I
good.
know.
Not good. So, one of the ways that we've been using or we've been diving into and exploring visual AI is through Dolly. And we touched about Dolly in episode 1 as it's part of OpenAI, it's on their platform. And
Yep.
what was I going to say? We referenced it. And so, can you say what you added in there? Because that made me laugh.
Yes. And I'd heard about that, we've been researching AI and Dolly and ChatGPT, and I had heard like um, a few ways that Dolly had gotten his name. But what I came down to is supposedly, now I think that this is true because several different sources said it. Dolly is the art combination of Salvador Dali. You guys all know Salvador Dali, the artist. What's the one? The Persistence of Memory. That one has got
Oh,
all the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
melting clocks, and then
Yes.
that one thing that no one's really sure what it was. Like,
The
you, and
that
it,
thing?
well,
Is it in that one? The blue and the yellow?
no, it's the one where it's
Oh.
like the clocks are all melting. Like the
Okay.
clocks are like melting. We'll have to pull up if we do a cut down of this, we'll have to show it. And then there's something laying there. It looks like a platypus to me. I don't know. But anyway, that's Salvador Dali. So combination of Dali, plus E have you ever seen the movie Wall-E?
I have never seen it, but it's based on a robot, correct?
I think so, but I guess it's Eve from Wall-E. I don't know. So I was like, interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting that they're gonna name it after a Disney movie. The artist I get.
Well,
So
even
that's what I came up with. If you guys are like, that's not right, then
fact
fact check
check
me.
us.
But I did fact check myself. I was like, okay, well,
Yeah. Because I feel like
yeah,
I brought up the Wally thing in episode 1 too, as like what it was named after. And it made sense to me because I think Wally's a robot. So
I
like
think it is
AI,
too.
yeah. But yeah, fact check us and let us know if we're bullshitting you right here.
Yeah,
But
I could be totally full of shit. But yeah, I was like, oh man, that gave me flashbacks to art history.
well, even when we last week were talking about what's the Google GPT?
Bard,
Bard, and we went into figuring out that was based off in a poet.
Shakespeare,
Yeah.
Shakespeare, not just a poet. The Bard of Avalon, fucking Shakespeare, Toby. Come on,
So sorry.
a poet.
Literally, like
You
hours.
are you are killing me. Yeah, it was based off some poet. Are you fucking kidding me? Like the I'm dying. That is so funny.
Literally
Yeah.
hours after we recorded that podcast, she referenced the Bard of Avalon again. I'm like, I've never heard of that before.
Like you literally said it. Those were you researched it and then you said it into a podcast. She's like, no, I don't think so. I've never heard that. I'm like, oh my God. You're
Anyway,
so funny.
I
Oh,
did want to
yeah.
reference a story that we brought up in episode one with this guy when we were starting to do our research into Dolly. He brought up how his parents owned a bakery and they needed to retake photos for all the different types of items that they can serve at the bakery. So, like, coming from muffins to bagels to sandwiches and all that jazz. And he's like, I'm going to mess with Dolly because through Dolly, you'd be able to morph an image. So, let's say I have a classic bagel with cream cheese, and then I can tell Dolly, remove cream cheese, add egg. Now
Mhm.
add bacon, replace bacon with sausage. So he was going to use that with Dolly. No update on how that worked with him, but that just shows you the capability of what Dolly has to offer.
Right. Yes. Yes. That's so interesting. I think like something to note, and we'll get into this later, but like you have to have that original image or, prompt or
Right.
idea of what you want before it can just go magically make that. But again, that's like your original image, which we've been talking about the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's that, and then that prompt that you give it for it to
Yeah.
add the mayonnaise, remove the so
Yeah.
interesting.
So that's essentially the idea behind Dolly is that you enter a text prompt, like we have discussed throughout this whole series. So an example I saw was a prompt would be an oil painting of a monkey in a spacesuit on the moon. So you would give that to Dolly, and AI does its best to generate an image that matches your idea after scanning, like through the GPT, which we've talked about, the web for images to match your search and combine them into something that you can find visually appealing and that you need.
Yes. So I was messing around with this just last night, actually, and I was trying to do it specifically for this podcast. And so I was even trying to give it, now I was on Bing Creator, which we will get to. And I was trying to upload our own imagery. And so we're just going to you'll have to just be picky about which ones you use because it would not use our photo of us.
Oh, interesting.
Um, yeah. And then it wouldn't also, I taped in like uh, Bing Bang
Hmm.
and it was picky about
The
like
logo.
copyright stuff.
Oh, that's why you want Luke on too. We need to talk to Luke about this.
Yeah, so just interesting. But then I
Yeah.
was like, create a digital graphic that could be used for a first birthday party that gives a nod to, because
Dolly
it wouldn't let
Parton.
me use Dolly Parton's name either. It was very picky and choosy about what it would let me use.
I
So
wonder if that's because it was free.
maybe, yeah, maybe,
Interesting.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that said, there's a lot of buzz around Dolly and what Dolly is. So Mackenzie sent out an email asking more of the content creators and our visual designer on our team what they thought about Dolly because we can sit here and rave about it all we want, but we're not the ones actually like going in. That's another part of our team that is using these programs. So
Right.
Grace, our visual designer, I'm going to read it. She said,
It's so thoughtful. Just let me say, her insights are always so thoughtful.
she's a lot more professional than you and I. I'll just leave it at that. Uh, I'm excited about the customization and time-saving aspect of the AI that is becoming available. In regards to the
Conceptualization,
thank you.
the conception,
I saw more than
the
8 letters and I got
conceived.
scared.
Oh,
I often start a digital project with a brainstorm in order to visualize ideas. With the help of AI, I'll be able to generate a variety of image suggestions based on specific text prompts, which will explore different concepts and help me find inspiration. Being able to alter a photo to perfectly match a brand's color scheme is going to enhance the end product and is going to save hours of manual Photoshop time on the graphic designer's end. It's also going to be a
yes.
time saver when you create a variety of custom design elements such as shapes, colors, patterns, textures. We will be able to explore a variety of different options quickly, which will save time in the overall design process.
Yes, I love that. And something you get to experience when you do work with us, Bing Bang specifically, especially in a brand project, we go into it and you get this mood board before we even, start to. And so this mood board is something that I know Grace spends hours putting together, going out and searching and photoshopping, cutting things out. The idea is all hers,
Yeah.
but the work that goes into just assembling that mood board takes so much time. Yes,
Yep.
like what uh, a benefit of this product.
Yeah, 100%. Do you want to read Caleb's? Because
Yes.
he was a last minute submission that.
Yes, absolutely. So Caleb is one of our very talented content creators on the video side. So he said, my thoughts. One, they can be and are great aids to those who lack technical knowledge and sort of bridge the gap in a more accurately showcasing vision. So, if you don't really know how to do something, you can ask it to do it and it'll just do it. It'll bridge that
Mhm.
gap. So very interesting take. And then two, I think AI helps creators get out of a rigid set and mindset with what it generates. So you can give it your prompt. It's going to be that voice of reason or that outside perspective. It's going to give you something that, oh, you hadn't quite thought of yet. So super beneficial in that way. And then he said, I don't fear it replacing anyone, but I do think it will deceive people in knowing what is fake or real as
Mm.
it improves. So totally agree. We're going
Yeah.
to really deep dive kind of into that on our next episode when we talk about ethics and what's right and what's wrong and all of that. But I really liked that both of those takes
Yeah, one for
from
sure.
our talented teammates, just because it's so, and especially them. I mean, visual designer and a content creator,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we're going to go
that.
into some of the different ways that you can use them for both ends. But I'll round this out with John's opinions he gave
Yeah.
us before we hit record today. And he said that he is, how did you phrase it? Traditionalist,
Traditionalist.
and he's afraid to evolve.
And we always say evolve or
Unwilling,
die,
unwilling.
John. Unwilling. Yeah, not afraid, just unwilling.
Unwilling
He's
until
planted
he
his
has
flag.
to. Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Right.
remember
There will come a
that
time.
curve you were taught about in school where there was like the early adapters and then like the people that followed along, then like the last minute people. John's at the end of the curve.
Let it work out its
On
kinks, and then
Yeah,
John.
I'll take it
I
on.
got you. Like threads. Got to work out the kinks and threads.
I'm
um,
I'm out there just
yeah.
fighting those battles for all of us. Don't worry about it.
Did threads tell you like what number of person like you were who joined?
You can look that up.
Okay.
You can look that up.
That
Yeah.
I found that really interesting as well. Not to go back to threads, not to make this whole episode about threads, but even when I was thinking about like cryptocurrency and like putting your stake in the ground on something, like I found that really interesting. Like, oh, I was one of like the first people that was. I guess you can see that
Hmm.
kind of on anything though, can't you? Like she's been a member since. Like on Twitter, you can say
Yeah.
has been here
True.
since 2017 or something.
True. True. Yeah.
Anyway,
That's true.
that was a random squirrel moment in my brain. So, what can
I
you
like it.
do with Dolly? We've been talking about it and how it can make your time faster and all that stuff. So, like we've talked about with the bakery example, you can replace objects within the image, right?
Mhm.
Another way we've been using it too is you can actually like expand the image. So let's say it's just like I were to have a picture of just me in this chair, I can have it guess what would be on either side of me and continue my background longer. Does that
Do you
make
think I
sense?
could guess how long your arms were?
My height?
You have a wingspan
Yeah.
of an eagle, and that's a compliment.
It just like goes off the image and it's like gone. So I'm always needing this on my end of things as I'm more on the social side, especially with like cover images. And when you think
Mhm.
about resizing things into vertical format, being able to add, because most stuff is shot in horizontal, so being able to add additional visuals on either side of that will
Yeah.
help it make a vertical video or photo.
Yeah. 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 Grace has done that a couple times where, yeah, it cut off. It was just last week in a presentation, like the little boy, it was like a little boy, and she
Yeah.
needed his whole body, and it gave him like legs and arms, and
Yeah.
so interesting. You can use it to say, I take a picture like this, like, I really wish I had a jacket on in that photo. You
Hmm.
could add a jacket. You could add bracelets.
Yeah.
You could, it's so crazy.
Yeah, same project she was working on. She did that with a girl that was holding the cell phone, and it switched her cardigan. So like you could have chose, because through Dolly, it'll give you like about 4 different examples for you to choose from, and then you can guide it based on the one you choose. So yeah, it had like a long cardigan or a short cardigan or this one with pockets or this. It was just so, it's just so funny.
It's crazy, and it's funny because I used to have this CD-ROM, like this disc game that I put in my computer that I could you'd upload your picture, from one of those floppy disk digital cameras, and then you could like change your lipstick or change your eyeshadow or change. It's just like that, but it's evolved. It's way,
Yeah,
way, way better. But it's like, hey, I've been doing this since 20, I don't know,
that's what I was going to bring up. Like, it's
2000.
moments like that when you're like, oh my gosh, this has been around for years, decades. So it's like, it comes back to this, like, this resurgence of it and like people finally starting to use it to benefit them. And like, where did that come from? I mean, it's just so wild to
I
me.
know. Have they been working on it this entire time in the background since I've been using the Revlon, like,
Yeah.
and at that point, I was doing that and I'm like, this is fucking sweet.
Hmm.
Technology will never get better than this. Like, hello, I'm not actually wearing purple lipstick, but it looks like I'm wearing purple lipstick.
Yeah.
Technology will never get better than this or cooler than this. And now we're like, holy shit,
Yeah, it did that. It
it
did
did
that.
that.
Even
It did
like
that.
I think of like Warby Parker or something where you just take your photo and it will place the glasses on your face
Yeah.
so you can see what you would look like. It's been in front of our faces this whole time. This whole time.
Well, it has. I mean, even on like Gmail and how we always laugh about the prompts that it gives you. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll spell my name wrong. Like I'll put the K before the C, and it'll say like make it a great day. I'm like, first of all, I just spelled my name wrong. Second of all, I would never
Say
sign an
that.
email, make it a great day.
Yeah.
Um,
You're not
yeah,
understanding my personality.
yeah, you are not learning my behaviors. I'm
Yeah.
usually like, no, I'm just kidding.
No.
But
My
just yeah,
Grammarly always
you're
does
right.
that. I think that's a good segue into. I had this slotted for more at the end, but I was going to give some other examples of businesses that are using. We talked about like the Warby Parker putting glasses on you, but like actually using AI in their advertising efforts
Yeah,
um, to help with leads and whatnot. So let me
yeah.
find the article really quick. So Coca-Cola did this. This is a post I found on HubSpot. They're one of our partners. Shout out. The beverage
Shout out.
company launched its own AI platform built by OpenAI, which we've discussed. The platform is called Create Real Magic, and they have used it. What did they? I thought they used it for something. Combining the program, Coca-Cola created a campaign in which fans can create their own digital artwork based on
Hmm.
aspects of the brand, such as the iconic bottle and script logo. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's just like fun too. I can see that being one of those things that goes viral, when
Mm-hmm.
some of those things take off and people then share it to their social media.
Yeah.
It's cute, it's harmless.
Yeah.
It's just, fun.
Chase Bank also used it. This Persado's machine learning solutions to humanize the company's marketing copy farther. Farther. Farther.
Further.
A digital ad by Chase spread, access cash from the equity in your home. And then Persado's version read, it's true, you can unlock cash from the equity in your home. So it was Persado's version was a bigger hit with their customers, is what they found out. So it's taking what they had, but just tweaking it a bit to make it more,
Right.
to relate more to the customer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, humanizing it a little bit more, humanizing the copy to kind of, yeah, more conversational. That's important when you're talking about any sort of money conversation because
Yeah.
people automatically get uncomfortable
Yeah.
when,
Well,
talking
we'd
about
even
money.
used that in a couple weeks ago. I was messing around with it. I'm like, let's see if it can write me. I'm going back to copy because I write. But like, let's see if it can write me a video script based on here's what I have so far. I just need it like expanded and written out. And it gave me like a shot list too. It said like
Yeah.
fast cut through these and then like open up with a fade into the sunrise. Like it was so on
Yeah,
point. And I'm like,
it was.
a couple tweaks here and there, nailed it.
Seriously. Yeah, it just needed that human refinement but it was so close. It did.
Yeah.
It was close.
The last one I was just going to highlight was Heinz. They partnered with Rethink Ideas, a creative agency, to create a series of AI generated advertising visuals. Um, this company started the team at Rethink Ideas, began playing around with AI image generator Dolly 2, which we've been talking about, and noticed that prompts related to ketchup yielding images that looked almost exactly like Heinz ketchup. So we can
Yeah,
include this little image in there too. I thought it was so cute.
yeah,
I
it's
want
cute.
us to have the same thing for us stuff, our
Yeah.
stuff. It looks so cute.
Yeah, it is cute. I really like that. It's so interesting. Anyone that's like a creative, the more visual generative and obviously the copywriting too, but these visuals are just, yeah,
Yeah,
you'll
they're
see them.
so fun.
They're fun. They're fun.
Some other visual ones we talked about Dolly. Grace uses Photoshop. So through our
Uh,
Adobe account, she just signed up for their beta program, downloaded it, and it essentially does the same things that we've discussed. Another one that we've been targeted for, I know you and I both
yeah.
have, is this adcreative.ai. They say that this will cut design time in half, more in half. We feel strongly that you need the original ad slash creative look and feel to be established before using ad creative AI. So they're hinting at the fact you need to know what you want before using it. However, it can replicate and resize using the original image, which is wonderful for us and our clients. So that one's really cool because it's more niched, right? Like it's geared towards ads.
Yeah, so if there's a designer or any designer listening to this, you know how much of a pain in the ass it is to you get your look and feel approved. But if you're running a digital campaign, especially a display campaign, then you have to make it, the square sizes, the long, skinny sizes. And it's so, oh, tedious to
Yeah.
resize oh my God, it's just, I've been there and it's just like, oh my God, how many more of these do I have to do? Well, this can completely take care of it. You bring in the original design, and then it takes it, moves things around. It makes it, work in all those other sizes. A fucking dream come true.
Yeah,
A
for
dream
real.
come true for
For
any
real.
designer. Yeah.
And then I think too, because it has a text feature too, where you like give it your target audience, the platforms you're going to be running this ad on. Like I said, it's very niched in
Yeah.
in ad sphere. And then even going back to that Chase example, like I feel like sometimes people can get so involved in their product or service with like this headline. I know we've been guilty of it too. One time, we're like,
Yes.
share your story. We're like, okay, like that's not really telling me to do anything. So what this ad creative AI, it's able to like still take your message but make it more intriguing and actually convert to the people that you're trying to reach.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I
Yes.
love
It's
I mean,
very smart.
it's just such a time saver. Yeah, it just gets you out of your head even sometimes. I know as a creative, you can
Well,
get so in your
yes.
head. Like, am I
You can
doing
get
the right
so in your
thing?
head. Yes, you can get so in your head and you put your blinders on
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, yeah. So I love that share your story example because
Uh-huh.
we're like, yeah, share your story. We want to share your story. Well, a businessman who knows he needs marketing or knows he needs more sales isn't going to make the translation of share my story.
Right.
No, where if we plug that in, then it'll say, share your story through marketing, visual, blah, blah, blah. It,
It
the
didn't
human
connect.
element.
Yeah, and we saw it
Yes.
in the numbers, and so that's at a point. And that campaign specifically, we came back to our team and we were like, okay, how can we make this more of a, enticing thing for our target audience? So
Yes.
ad AI creative. I want to mess with that a little more. That is something on my vision board that I see us messing with more.
Yes. Yeah, me too. I shared that with because I'd come across and I shared it with a couple others on our team too. And
Yeah.
that kind of got their ears perked up because it was just interesting. It was just interesting. Yeah, I wrote down a couple other ones
Yeah.
too. Starry AI, that was free. And the
Mm-hmm.
output is pretty quick. Crayon, Crayyon, that one's
Oh,
free. Night Cafe is free, and then Art Breeder, that one you have to have a subscription based, but
yeah.
yeah, a few
Most of
other
them
ones.
are paid. like the dolly is, you have to pay for the credits, and same
Yeah.
with this ad creative too. But it's nice that there are free options out there that you can utilize.
Yeah, the Bing one I was talking about last night, it did an okay job. Like it was entertaining, but it didn't give me exactly what I
Yeah,
wanted, but that's because it was faux free.
yeah. I think we should, because remember last time we talked about Bard, and we're like, we're gonna try Bard, and we're gonna
Uh-huh.
see how we like it. We tried Bard, and we did not like it.
I didn't mind it. I mean,
Okay,
it
I wasn't impressed.
it I know you weren't. I think my opinion, it took things too literally.
Okay,
It
yeah,
was too literal. And it's funny because if you compare, there's people that also take things too literally. And so I think, yeah, you're right. Like OpenAI or ChatGPT, um, ChatGPT is definitely, they're a little more, they can see the gray a little bit more.
yeah.
They can play in the gray where Bard felt very, you had to be so, so, so specific. You're like, I'm not even in the mood to do, like, I should have done it myself.
Right.
But, but
That's
yeah,
and it goes back to like, are these platforms going to take our jobs? And it's like,
Bard's not.
unless you're able to develop a prompt that will give you, it literally lays out specifically, like you have to take the time to develop that prompt. Like I think I even referenced this in the first episode. Like instead of hiring copywriters, now you're gonna hire prompt developers where they're able
Right.
to go in and get specifically what you want so you can get the desired outcome that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about photos and videos, I mean, photos and graphics and whatnot, but it also it has video and audio side of things too. Quickly, just some things that I found that you can use on the video and audio side. It does have automated editing, which is so crazy, but I'm like a perfectionist, so like I would not trust this, right, John?
So, like I noticed TikTok does that.
Yeah.
TikTok can just it will ask you like upload your stuff and you mind if we give it a shot? And it just kind of like mixes it and adds its
No
own music,
way.
adds its own yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it has that in here too. Smart video stabilization, which I know I always need. I am a shaky mother effer.
I do love that. I think that's yeah, me too. If I'm not on a tripod or a
Yeah.
Osmo, yeah,
Well, the
that's great.
iPhone does have that too. I know they have like an action mode or something, at least with mine. I
Oh,
have not, I have like the latest one that's not come out yet, but you know what I mean. But it does have like that stabilization inside it to do it too. So your iPhone has that as well. Um,
interesting.
Automated color correction, which is nice for me. I use that in Final Cut. I am a Final Cut gal. Final Cut,
You
Canva.
are yes, you are.
Subtitling and transcription, which comes in handy a lot, a lot.
Yes, it's getting so much better. I mean, I know Google Translate's been around for a long time, but its ability to uh, get more accurate has been nice
Yeah,
for
especially on
different languages and stuff.
the video side of things, like you need to have captions on your videos now because people just like they're either don't have the sound on, um, and so like you need to make sure those captions are there, especially on the social side of things, to so people can still watch your video without needing the sound. So that saves you a lot of time because I
Mhm.
know I go through and I listen to it. I'm like, did she say what or but? It's like, type it all
But
out. Voiceovers and narration, which is super cool. We can get into that next episode with the ethics. We touched on it last episode too, but with that Beatles album coming out, like it
yes,
can copy the sound of people
yeah, and the scams that are coming
that
out,
are
and
brewing.
it's yeah, yeah. We will definitely get into that. I'm really excited for that conversation.
Yeah, I am too. And then finally, like I mentioned with our example internally that we did, is storyboarding. It can
Love
help
it.
you shot by shot figure out the best way to tell a story.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It can
Woo!
really do so, so much. It can do so much. And again, we understand we are a creative agency. So we're not afraid of it taking our jobs. We know that we are irreplaceable. Um, what, the ideas that we have in our brains, like that can never be replicated by these tools. But again, these tools enhance everything that we do. And it's been so cool to start to implement them in our daily lives. It really has. It's just to get a different perspective when you don't maybe have that person right there. And, a lot of you listening to this, you're probably a one person, marketing department. You need that unique perspective, that outside perspective. And maybe you don't, have any other creatives in your office. Lean on some of these tools to give you that perspective that, you might need or might benefit the end product. And I think you'll be really surprised in a good way.
Yeah, I do too. I do. It's been so fun on our end to play with, like we've said, and I'm just excited to become more of an expert in it, which is just so crazy to say. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
An expert in AI. Like, I never thought that when I was cheating at Iowa State that I would be saying that.
You keep telling on yourself, Shelby. You don't have to. It's okay. We
It's
accept you for who you are.
It's now
We
part of my
do.
brand.
Shelby the cheater. That's what.
What's a cheater?
That's
Always
what
a cheater.
I've saved you in my phone. Shelby the cheater. Just kidding. Yeah.
Well, I think that was. Yeah, go for it.
No. I also am just thankful that thanks to you guys listening and watching for sticking with us and being a part of this conversation. All your feedback, we're hearing it, reading it. It's just been so great to open up this conversation. I know I keep saying that at the end of every episode, but it's true. It's engaging with you guys and opening up these conversations to you guys is why we keep doing this. So tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your brother who's a conspiracy theorist who thinks that these are coming after our jobs. Tell them to listen to us.
A traditionalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also be sure to connect with us on socials too. We'd love to hear what platforms you're using or how you're utilizing it for your business as well. You could also reply to any of the emails you get from our newsletter. You can sign up for that at info.itsbingbang.com/newsletter. Get all of our hot gossip up in there. It's a party.
Seriously, it is. It's a party. We do. We gossip. We spill the tea. We spill the tea on everything that's going on in marketing, what's more fun than that?
Seriously.
Seriously.
That's all we got.
That is all we got. And we did it virtually, our first virtual episode together for the Bing Bang Download.
I'm waving at you.
Hi. I feel like kind of like, not God, but
I don't want to say God.
I didn't mean that. It like thunders outside. It lightning. That's not what I meant.
No,
awesome. All right. Well, thank you all. And we will see you next week when we talk about, or 2 weeks when we talk about ethics.
I know we're wrapping it up with the old ethics conversation.
The old ethics conversation. We will be on the Instagram asking some questions about that. So
100%.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Okay.
Amazing.
Have a happy Friday, or I guess for these people, Tuesday.
Tuesday for you, Friday for us. Sucks to be you guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Awesome. Bye.